Cricket presents The Campfire, and today we are taking a deep dive into 4-5A Division II. The teams in this 9-team district are Anna, Denison, Emerson, Independence, Liberty, Memorial, Lovejoy, Melissa, and Walnut Grove. Let's analyze this district in our film session. A lot of powerhouses at the top of 4-5A Division II, including a state champion. Granted, they were a state champion in 4A, but Anna has moved up and is ready to give it a go in 5A. They bring up some talent too. Zeandre Williams is just a junior, but he's got a championship ring as a quarterback, and he'll have a stud running back, Edward Chumley, returning in the backfield. Of course, the biggest news is that Todd Dodge returns to the Metroplex to coach Lovejoy. The Leopards have embraced the head coach with championship pedigree, and though he'll need to find a quarterback, Dodge will have one of the best receivers in the nation, Dylan McCutcheon. Melissa put all their chips in last year, but those South Oak Cliff Golden Bears tripped them up. Look out for Owen Hollenbeck on the O-line. He's one of the nation's best interior linemen, and he's heading to Oklahoma. And we can't forget about Frisco Emerson. The Mavericks went all the way to the state semifinal before falling to SOC. Their dynamic quarterback Mike Hawkins has graduated, but his brother Malik remains as one of the district's best defensive backs. Walnut Grove played a rogue schedule last year, but has finally settled into its first district and looking to make some noise. Denison could flex their muscle and fight for a playoff spot as well. The other three Frisco teams, Liberty, Memorial, and Independence, will struggle to find their footing in this competitive district, but could pick up a few victories. Freeflation leaves economists baffled. Getting more for less? It's true for those who switch to Cricket and get a free Samsung Galaxy A14 5G. Smile, you're on Cricket. Give your taste buds that winning feeling with the new boneless Whataburger from Whataburger. Crispy, tender bites of chicken tossed in your choice of sauce. For an even deeper look at 4-5A Division II, here's producer Ward Fatsold and insider Matt Diggs with the District Breakdown.
All right, it is District Breakdown time. That is my good friend, Matt Diggs. You know him as the professor. We are in our second 5A Division II district, 4-5A Division II. I like to call it the haves versus the have-nots. And there's probably about 4 halves that make this thing top heavy, but boy, did they have a lot. So maybe talk about what you think about the top part of this district.
You know, this district is going to be really incredibly captivating for a number of reasons. Obviously, the top half of this district, as you talked about, is incredible. But I think an understated thing is that a lot of these talented teams that we're talking about moved from Region 2 to Region 1 over this realignment, and that's going to completely change everything. Ward, let me give you some facts. Let me throw some information with you. Let's talk about how they exited last year. Lovejoy lost to South Oak Cliff 42-0. Melissa lost to South Oak Cliff 38-30. Frisco Emerson lost to South Oak Cliff in the state semifinals. Are you seeing a little bit of a trend there, Ward?
I am seeing a trend. I'm seeing a trend very much so.
And now they don't got to deal with South Oak Cliff until the state semifinals, which could be an amazing talent, amazing opportunity for a team to get to that next step without having to necessarily go through that South Oak Cliff, cliff, if you will, because a lot of times they hit South Oak and they're going down the cliff. But now we got a lot of things we got to answer in this district. First of all, we got Lovejoy minus Chris Ross plus Todd Dodge. For me, I like Chris Ross. I think Chris Ross is an excellent offensive talent, so I don't think that Lovejoy is going to be this incredibly well-coached team that wasn't well-coached. I think they're going to continue that continuity.
All right, give me 1 through 9.
I've got Lovejoy number 1. I've got Melissa number 2. I've got Frisco Emerson number 3. I've got Anna just making the playoffs at number 4. Denison number 5. Walnut Grove number 6. Frisco Memorial, I think they're the best of the Frisco ISD schools. I've got them 7. I think Frisco Liberty coming from Division 1 to Division 2, that's going to help them out a little bit. Even though they're in a very tough district, I've got them 8th. And Frisco Independence to round out the district.
All right, Diggsy, we will catch you next week.
We'll post the entire breakdown segment this Wednesday on our social media pages. Now let's take a look at some game changers and our players on the rise, brought to you by Parker University. Dylan McCutcheon broke out as a junior last year for the Leopards of Lovejoy. As their main target at wide receiver, McCutcheon caught 92 balls for 1,400 yards and 19 touchdowns. Pretty impressive considering he shared the receivers room with 3 other Division I guys as a sophomore. There is no mistaking who is the main guy now. Dillon uses his speed and length to separate from his defenders. McCutcheon has many offers, including Florida State, Ohio State, and Texas. Anna got quite the move in during the offseason when wide receiver Ashton Ansley transferred in. The former Tomball Memorial standout caught 32 passes for 689 yards and 10 touchdowns as a junior. Now he joins a state champion quarterback in Zeandre Williams and should get more targets in the Coyotes' high-powered offense. Ansley has offers from Florida, South Carolina, and Ole Miss, among others. Cornerback Chase Coleman stood out on a 2-win Frisco Memorial squad last year. Coleman made 26 tackles as a junior and also broke up 4 passes along with 2 interceptions. Chase is a quick-footed cover man who will help the Warriors compete for wins before moving on to UCLA for his college ball. Another big-time cornerback in the district is Malik Hawkins at Emerson. Hawkins is a playmaker in the Mavericks secondary and forces quarterbacks to have second thoughts before throwing his way. Malik has the pedigree as his dad played in the league and his brother will suit up for Oklahoma this year. Speaking of the Sooners, Malik has verbally committed there as well. Players on the Rise is brought to you by Parker University. Do you or your student want a career training the world's best athletes? Check out our bachelor's degree in strength and human performance today. Cricket Wireless has an offer that's going to blow up your group chat. 4 lines for only $25 per month each with nationwide 5G. Smile, you're on Cricket. The Campfire is brought to you by Golden Chick. One taste and you're golden. Our Ward Fasol caught up to new Lovejoy head coach Todd Dodge to talk about his Leopards in our Media Day segment.
All right, it's Media Day. We are talking 4-5A Division II, and we have Todd Dodge with us from Lovejoy High School. First of all, welcome to the Metroplex. Welcome back to the Metroplex is what I should say. It's kind of cool for the Lovejoy kids to have a new coach, but the whole Metroplex to have you back ready to coach for as long as you feel like coaching here is a great plus. I'm sure you've heard from God knows how many coaches since you said you're going to take the job. But what's the overall feeling about being back?
Ward, I'm absolutely loving it. It's a place that I've kind of had my eye on and kind of admired from afar for a long time. I say a long time. It's only 18 years old.
Right.
I think my last year coaching at Southlake was the first year of the existence of this school and this school district as it sits now. But I knew after my time at Westlake, I had planned on retiring after 8 years. Why that was a magical number, I don't know, but I know that it ended on a high note with a three-peat. And I was glad to welcome in retirement at the time. I was really able to enjoy the success that we had and just sit back and relax for a couple years. And after those 2 years, knew that I wanted to coach again. And so Lovejoy is a place. It's a one high school town. It's been absolutely wonderful. I've enjoyed every minute of it. We started spring ball yesterday morning. We've had 2 practices, and it's going really well.
I appreciate you joining with me, Coach, man. I go back to spring ball, get to know your players, and we're going to see you down the stretch for sure. Thanks again for joining us.
Thanks. Go Leopards. Appreciate you.
You can catch the entire interview Friday on our social media channels. That's going to do it for this week's Campfire. Next week, we will take a look at 5A Division II. Until then, have a great week, everybody.